just enjoying the day out that we had today after, I don't know, I feel like we've been gone a few days from public civilization. From, where did we come from first? Was Zion, and then Bryce, and then a few stops along the way. Now we're in Utah and it's just quiet. And we get used to quiet, so I get it now, like why I used to feel frustrated, upset. I used to think that older people were just bitter because they didn't like my kids around them. But like being in the atmosphere we were all, you know, over the last 2 hours, it's almost, 2 hours. I get it because all the quiet we are used to in our home life, even in our atmosphere of being at Bryce Canyon and being in like places where it's wildlife and we love hiking, which is quiet atmospheres, your senses are overwhelmed with the screaming that happens, amount of,
well, I don't know,
and parents yelling and...
don't know whether I was just reminded of, well, I know for a fact I was reminded of how I was as a parent, and I thought, man, now and like you said, now I understand why.
Well, and I used to have like the thought, oh my God, why do these old people being, and 40s was old when I was having when I was 20 and having a toddler and such. So all these 40 plus year olds, it was just, they seemed grouchy. And it's not that we're grouchy, it's that it's overstimulating, and not because we have stimmies. Well, maybe we do, but
well, it seems to
it's
be
just
that
there's so much screaming, and then the parents are also screaming back at the kids. This is why grandparents have so much to input into us, because they can look back and tell you all the phases and what they feel like. I mean, newborns and what to expect in that time frame. When you have a newborn and you're a new mom, a new parent, like just plan on being tired like all the time.
And Disney World is not for kids.
Don't take your kids anywhere under 5th grade, anywhere. I know you think it's going to be fun. I know we did it. But like it's tiring for all parties. So as overstimulated as we might have been, understand that kids can get overstimulated very quick. A lot of times we're disciplining our kids because we think, someone else is judging us. But I get it. I feel like we are those old people now that are just like, oh my God, don't bring your kids if you're coming to visit. And I don't want to be that way entirely, because I want to be very close by and help our son when he starts having kids.
I don't think there was anybody bad there.
Yeah, kids weren't acting bad.
I don't think there was anybody. I mean, there was the typical moms, scolding their kids or whatever. But it was just a lot.
So I'll end by saying this, like having grace for each phase that you're in, but also for the phases others are in is really important. But just know, we know what it feels like to be in their shoes.
Yeah.
So we, after 26 years of being together, our son is 21 now. We've been through every phase and stage of raising the kids. And
so,
now in the empty nest phase, just have grace for us too. We're not always the most patient, but understand why. We're coming from quiet atmospheres and sometimes being exposed to very loud atmospheres again. And we're out of that phase. And it's true, we grew with our child. So as he grew, we were in each phase. Like when we first met, we hung out with single people who had no kids. And then we had a kid. And then now we had to find groups of families that had little kids. So it helps if you have that kind of group and support, for sure, to grow with your family and move on. So yeah, even when we're with our son now, he's an adult.
I guess I don't remember the production, but it must have been.
Oh, we had to get the stroller out. We had all this stuff and
tons
of food.
We had one freaking child.
And I was just thinking that, like, how many people have multiples?
I had other children, and a lot of times during those years of him being young, my older daughters were there.
Sometimes. Yeah. But a lot of people are having multiples. Just have grace for each other, and we'll remember that as well.
Yeah, I think I did.
And this is one way we're working to evolve.
Amen.
No one's perfect.